So SNL did a sketch, and the sketch was like Latinos trying to sell something, whatever, and then their punchline was "That's it." And it was just like something is $24.99. That's it. And then Marcelo and Olivia Rodrigo and what's that? Adam Driver and I think one more girl. I forget her name. And that's it was the punchline. Like they all just go, that's it, that's it, that's it. And I think a lot of people are like, yo, that's kind of Giannis's character.
Yeah.
Now, and I think Giannis was very measured in his responses. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
I didn't see this. I watch it.
I did not see this.
But yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Giannis.
Yeah.
And it's also like, what is going on at SNL? Like you're all comedians. We all know each other. We've all come up together. We know this character. Like you're intimately involved in comedy. If you're a writer, you're putting these three comics that are up there in harm's way because they're going to get all the scrutiny for doing the sketch that is like, you know, similar to what Giannis did.
That's what Giannis said, basically. He's like, I've been doing this for 20 years. There's no way that no one in there.
Yeah, so he had this tweet, which was like, I thought a good response. Das is definitely just saying that.
Wait, hold on. You said you hadn't heard about it, and then you just said, I thought this was a great response the second you pulled up the tweet.
Well, yeah, I skimmed it. I'm a skimmer.
That bothered.
He has built it.
Why y'all do this? Why y'all taking all this credit?
No, I actually have never
What's
read
going on this side?
What's
Miles
y'all?
says some shit, and you're like, yeah, that proves me right.
No, because I'm always right. But
No, I just read the first line.
He be cap.
I just read the first
got
line. I said,
built-in
it's
cap.
definitely a way of that's it. It's a New Eurekan accent. It's been around forever. I assume I'm an NYC kid. I love everyone around NYC, yada, yada.
So don't just fast talk.
I didn't get to the
He
rest.
just shut you up.
I was locked in on that one. Keep going, 'cause I can't read my fucking eyes.
Thank
There we
you.
go.
Marisa is the one that made That's It funny and established it widely, similar to catchphrase like "You go, girl" with Martin Lawrence. Are you so crazy? It's about how you said it and why for comedic effect and purpose. No ill will harbored. I'm sure many younger kids don't know its origins. Now it's gotten so big and it's become a part of pop culture. I didn't intentionally make the catchphrase popular. The fans decided it was. It officially belongs to everyone now. Much love to Marcelo. He's cute, charismatic kid who Marisa would def want to get Pantha activated on.
I mean, what a brilliant,
What a measured response that I skimmed.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, brilliant and just so sweet. Like, shout out to Giannis.
Yeah.
He tweeted that.
Handled that
30
very
minutes.
well.
Does he still do?
Handled that way better than he handled me giving him COVID. I'll tell you that. I wish he said some shit like that when he got COVID for a couple of days.
Like, everyone gets sick.
Really
You know what I mean?
acted up about a cold, this guy. You know what I mean?
You almost killed him. You almost killed
You
him.
did almost
He
kill
did
him, bro.
almost kill him.
Yeah, but he went to Rogan and said it on purpose.
Did you?
That was racist.
Did you or did you not?
That's racist.
I mean, you got
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay, so
no.
here's the question. First of all, I love what he said. Second of all, if you're SNL and you're a comedy institution, isn't there a part of you that's going, yo, this is kind of similar to this thing that Giannis made it incredibly popular. Should we be wary of this at all?
Does he still do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he does the
shows.
character, rarely he'll do the character
Oh,
as
he still does
shows.
it.
But like, even if he didn't, like, I guess what I'm saying is, you know that people are going to make this connection. Is the sketch, which isn't that funny, worth the scrutiny?
I'm trying to give them grace because I can definitely see Marcelo not knowing. He's from Florida, right?
That's
and he's
right.
young. He's like 26.
Yeah.
So he's probably not going to know. That's it. Everybody in this area knows. But in Florida, you might have just, there's no New Yorkers there.
I don't know if
All
he.
the writers on the show, like,
That's
they're gonna
what
get
I'm
checked and like everybody's in on it. So it's like
Yeah.
somebody would break.
Like, I don't blame Marcelo at all. I think it's
Yeah.
on the writers to like have to go through it.
That's what I'm trying to think. Is there a writer who's...
I mean, if Marcelo is aware of it. The other thing is just Marcelo is a Latin kid who grew up around people saying that's it. It's part of his community.
Yeah,
it's
of
not
course.
like owned by Giannis. So he probably said that's it. His aunt said that's it. His sister said that's it. He probably feels ownership of this phrase that was also popularized by this kid who's not even Hispanic. So maybe he feels more comfortable for that. And it's not like they're taking jokes, but I do see the similarities where like he's kind of dressing up as like a flamboyant, like gay guy. And Marisa was like a trans woman, gay dude kind of thing but yeah, it's just this like, I don't know, like, you know that there's going to be some controversy that comes with it.
Does that never happen in comedy? Like hip hop, like people will use a line from a song, and it's almost like you're
An homage.
ode to homage. To,
Jay-Z did it with Biggie. and
they
yeah,
do it
yeah.
all the time. And so, does that ever happen in comedy? Like
Nah.
you kind of repeat a tag. that was so big, and it's like, that's
It would have to be so
Yeah,
big
so
that we're
obvious.
all laughing at like
Tosh did it one
you
time.
referring to that.
What did he do? Get her done or something?
No, he
like
did
that?
like a whole big joke, and he was like, "Hot pocket."
Oh
And
yeah.
then he has.
Yeah.
I had a comedy. I had another friend of mine finish that joke or some shit like that. But like,
Yeah.
it's an obvious homage to a super famous bit.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Or you're making fun of that comedy.
Yeah.
So it's either like you're bigging them up, but it's not as prevalent. And yeah, it's
It's
I don't know,
pretty
it's
rare.
so weird. Dude, the sketch that they did, did you guys see the sketch that SNL did about the DEI hearing? The Harvard shit?
Oh.
I mean, it's so bad.
Really?
And it's not only bad, it's like, to me, it's the most obvious thing, right? Like with this DEI, we're talking about when Penn and Harvard and I think MIT came in front of Congress. And the angle that they're taking is that Congress was being outlandish
That's crazy.
or out for blood. Like the angle is that the Congresswoman was being a bitch and then she was just out for blood. And it's like, what's a reasonable thing to be out for blood for?
Yeah, it's also
You know what I mean? Like,
regardless of what side of the issue you're on, that was crazy to have 3 institutions of Ivy Leagues being like, no,
yeah.
I don't know how to, like, just handling it that poorly, regardless of what side you're on.
I didn't see
Crazy.
the sketch, but like the premise actually kind of sounds more fun to me, like defending the Congress people.
Yeah.
But it just has to be super fun.
But it probably aligns with our actual politic.
Yeah, but
And that, I was trying to think in my brain when we started talking, I was like, dude, SNL used to be more neutral. And I don't know that it was. I think we just we weren't so like biased in our political comedy. It's just, we make fun of all the politicians. That's what it is. Whatever my politics are, all y'all are getting jokes. That's what we're doing. We're just laughing.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. It's holidays, okay? It's holidays and holiday dick need to be good. Why does it need to be good? Because you're with your family. Maybe you're with your wife's family, your girl's family, and they need to know that you're laying it down. They need to hear you. They need to hear the banister. They need to hear the bed backboard slamming against that thin drywall they got between your room and your girl's cousin's room. Simple as that. Okay? You're having turkey. I know you got that tryptophan in the system. You're tired. Dick probably slouching. Not when you chew it up. Not when you chew it up, chew it out, headboard, smack it against the wall, waking up the whole house. Okay? Santa's here. Not coming down the chimney, coming in it. Santa's here. All the presents. We got a bag full of them. All the presents. Santa's here. Blue Chew is delivering for you. Same active ingredients inside Cialis or Viagra, but this is the Chew. This is one that we rock with. Simple as that. And you're going to get it for free. All you got to do to have the best dick of your life. All you got to do to have the best dick of your life, and you're going to get it free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. When you go to BlueChew.com, use the promo code FLAGRANT. That is it. You are welcome. No more needs to be said. Let's get back to the show. I just figured it was that like a lot of the staff comes from Harvard.
Oh.
They're like all right at the Harvard Lampoon. And like they come from these Ivy League schools, so they want to defend the institutions that are baked into their identity, which right now are being ragdolled, as they should, because they got these goofy bitches that refuse to just say being anti-Semitic is wrong.
Yeah.
Now, it's not even one of these conversations where it's like, if you want to be a free speech absolutist, where you could say racist things, you say anti-Semitic things, you could say sexist things, you say homophobic things, and the institution basically is going, we want to have these conversations, even though they're disgusting, because maybe sometimes these disgusting conversations could lead to somewhere productive. I get that. But the hypocrisy isn't that they're allowing this.
Correct.
It's that they're protecting certain groups
Yes.
against this free speech,
Yes.
and then not others. So there's the hypocrisy.
They police speech very harshly in some areas, and then all of a sudden here they're letting it go. And I don't know if Ben Shapiro is a free speech absolutist. I kind of assume he is. But if he was one, and then he was complaining about somebody saying something anti-Semitic, he'd be equally corny.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what side of the issue you're on. It's the hypocrisy that I think most neutral people
And then I was talking to some people who went to like study at universities like recently. I didn't realize how volatile it's become at the university level.
this issue or all like just general?
This specific one, DEI.
Really?
And like,
Oh yeah.
and again, this is like during BLM, so it's going to be extra, but like students telling teachers to stop talking about something because it wasn't their story to tell. Like a white teacher talking about a black issue, black students standing up and going, hey, you shouldn't speak on this because this is not your story to tell, teacher stops. This like, and I guess that there is this like power struggle that is existing within, I don't want to say a power struggle within the universe at the university level, but like there is this power dynamic that is at play here where those that are in power should feel, allegedly in power, should feel guilty about that power position they have. So those that are not in power can level the playing field by telling them not to use that power on anybody else, or maybe even speak on things that they can't be. So there's this ability to kind of silence. And because of the power dynamic that is created, it is white people who are in power. So now white people just shut up when it comes to these issues, right? Now this is an educational institution. The people here should be experts on what they're talking about. So we're not hiring them because they're white. We're hiring them because they've studied this field.
Usually to the PhD level.
And now just telling someone to shut up, regardless of everything that they've written, everything that they studied, simply because of the color of their skin, seems to be the exact problem we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, now if I'm a foreign nation, I have succeeded.
Yeah.
Like if I'm an enemy of America, I have succeeded. I have infiltrated the universities, the most influential universities and thought creators on this or in this country. And I have convinced them of a new way of thinking that will absolutely lead to division amongst the populace and resentment.
This is what Florida should do. You know how they're like trying to stop teaching about slavery and shit? They should just be like, hey, a lot of our teachers are white, can't talk about it. And they're just like, sorry, we're not allowed to talk about slavery, dude. We got white teachers. They can't talk about that.
Oh, so almost respect the DEI thing.
Yeah,
We
can't talk about it.
That's a good.
That's like my dream job.
Too many white teachers, guys.
Yeah, we can't talk about slavery. We got to talk about, colonialism.
Yeah.
That's what they can talk about.
Yeah.
But don't you want to learn about it from the experts?
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah, you want someone to be like my great grandpa.
Yeah.
like,
We don't want to learn how to be a slave. We want to learn how to be a slave owner. Right? Like, what was the system?
Yeah.
Tell me how all the things worked.
You want to learn about both. Maybe you need two. Maybe you need like dueling. You need like Dre and Eminem type shit. Every classroom's got both. And then they kind of just do.
You know what's crazy is kids are getting hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to be taught like this.
I mean, it's
Like you're taking on essentially a mortgage
Yeah.
to not learn.
Wouldn't that be a fun job though, to be like a DEI person? Like at my college, I knew like the diversity and inclusion people.
Oh, you had it at your school?
Yeah. We had a whole office.
And what happened?
Gay.
My dream job. It was just always just like a gay black chick, and she would just kind of walk into places and be like, need more blacks. And I'd be like, you get paid for this. This is
That's
awesome.
fire.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be my dream job. Just to walk into any boardroom and be like, and like they would consult for businesses and shit. And just like walk into like a real estate group and be like, need more Jews. And they would just like plug in, they would just look around and be like,
They've
who are
never
missing?
said that once at a real estate.
That's a good point. Yeah, they go to construction. They go to construction
Yeah,
sites, so
yeah,
like more Jews. But just going into a place being like, gotta mix it up. I feel like I'd be so good at that.
I mean, that's a real job.
A lot of Mexicans at this work site. We gotta throw some more people in, more diversity. It just seems so funny that you gotta go in and just be like, who's missing?
I understand the idea behind it.
Sure, well-intentioned, but yeah, I mean, at some point, you got to be reasonable.
And you also have to 100% you got to be reasonable, and two, you also have to understand like how humans relate to power. Like if you give humans power, we will abuse it.
True.
It's just the nature of humanity. It's very rare that somebody gets power and is benevolent with it.
Yeah.
We get lucky when it happens. It's pretty fucking awesome. But like giving somebody who is, their entire life been or feels as if that they've been had power withdrawn from them, and then all of a sudden giving them the power to exact change. Oh, that must be intoxicating. You might start walking into a room and being like, not enough here.
Yeah. But I was thinking about that with term limits with presidents. So I was like, what if we got someone, like, should we have term limits?
Oh my.
Well,
Yeah.
well, there's the argument.
Like, if you get someone that's fired, just be like, just run it back.
So this is the argument, I think, why like you can, in the parliamentary system, why you can just continue running it back with a president or a prime minister or whatever, is because they're just the leader of that party. So they're not, I guess, elected. The party is elected. And if the party has them at the leader, the party can just continue doing it and doing it and doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there were term limits initially.
Yeah, until Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But like, imagine like Obama just ran up against Trump again, ran it back 3 times. You know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden now it's like, all right.
Yeah.
My issue with re-election is politicians just try to get reelected as opposed to doing the best job. So they'll just try, hey, these guys, this voting block, let's just make them happy. And it's not always the general population that votes. It's the guys, or they'll give me the most money that can help me get other votes and sway things in my favor.
Yeah, I get the point.
I think 1 6-year term.
Bro, I got in a whole argument with my mom because she's like a monarchist now. She's like, we need a king.
Your mom is lit.
She's like, we need a king because if you get a good king, things are awesome. And if you get a bad king, you can make a coup, you can usurp him. But if you get a good king, things are pretty good.
Yeah,
for
but
a
the
while.
king is the king. It's not that easy to just have a coup.
But she was,
You know, it's easier in election.
call her up, dude. She was putting me in a spin cycle. I was in a whirlwind. By the end of the combo, I was like, yo, we might need a monarch, dude. Like having a king might be awesome if it's a good king.
Game of Thrones shit. That'd be awesome.
There's an argument. I think Jordan Peterson was making a bit about like how the monarchy helps Great Britain, because not just as like a tourism ploy, but like there's an idea of what it is to be British. So it helps like make
National identity.
Yeah, it creates like national identity. Like this is how you're supposed to speak. This is how you're supposed to dress. This is how you're supposed to eat. This is a version of what it is to be British. So just everybody kind of like wraps themselves around that idea. And naturally, the different, towns have their different accents and their different cultures, et cetera, but they have an idea of what it is to be British. So it just helps kind of, and also when things are annoying or bad, there's a group of people that you can blame for it.
Right. Yeah.
There's just like what is it called? Like a whipping boy or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's some value to that. I guess in America, that's the president. It's like, you don't like how shit is going. You're like, well, fuck Biden. He's fucking it all up.
Right.
Like these markets are decided way before Biden gets into office. Yeah, maybe they can manipulate them a little bit. Like maybe in an election year, all of a sudden mortgage rates are going to start to go down,
Right.
which seems manipulative, doesn't it?
I think that's what's about to start happening, actually.
I'm sure they all do it, but it is a little, isn't that kind of like,
Yeah.
okay, the second it's time for you to be reelected, all of a sudden I refied my mortgage and I got a few more grand in my pocket. This is
That's what I'm
bad.
saying. I don't think we should have any re-election. You could have a longer term, fine. You could have 8 years. I don't care. But the re-election, I think it's just skews everything.
I got you because you're fighting for reelection instead
Yeah.
of fighting for the
The
public.
best of the what's
interesting.
best for the country.
Yeah.
If I have one term and then I'm out, I'm gonna actually do what I think is best. But if I have 2 terms, what's gonna get me reelected? Well, I don't know what's good, what's bad. I just need to know what's gonna get me reelected. That's my goal, is to get reelected. It's
I
not
feel
doing
like
the best job.
4 years isn't necessarily enough to get much.
That's what I'm saying. 6 to 8.
But then if you do 8 and they're a shitty ass president,
Now you
we're
sitting here
stuck
with for a
6.
decade.
6 is still. You want to sit with a shitty president for? We've been
6 is
doing it
fine.
for 3 right now.
Because we do for 4, yeah. We did it for 4. 4 years, and he might get 4 more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
History, even though he seems like a great guy, history is not looking back very fondly on George Bush Jr.'s presidency. He got 8 years. We came out of it okay.
Yeah.
It's 1 6-year term.
Not a bad idea.
About it, bro.
This is maybe my greatest idea. That and investing in Bitcoin.
Or a king.
Son, your boy's up.